girls, so welcome back to Fails with My Friday. In today's case, we're actually talking about a case that came from Australia, which I think in the 30-something videos I've done for this channel, so far I have not actually covered a case from Australia, even though I've always wanted to. And so yeah, I think this will be the first of several, and so I'm really excited about this one, despite there not being a lot of information, so let's just go and get started.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, maybe you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed. Think you're something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me?
And so, our story of course starts with Martha. She was born on August 10th, 1871 in Hope Valley, which is in Western Australia. She apparently was born in a poor family and apparently left at the age of 16, but not before receiving like some sort of education, thanks to a law that passed in like 1875, apparently making it like mandatory for children to receive some sort of education. So that was nice. But in the 1890s, Martha unfortunately had already given birth to 3 illegitimate children and was actually working as a servant.
Damn!
Martha would apparently go on to have an affair with a married man named Tom Nicholas Morris, who apparently had like 9 kids of his own.
Oh, damn. I'm sorry.
His wife Sarah apparently had asked him to stop, and apparently for some reason he seemed unable to. He was aware that the rumors were spreading around town, and then his wife didn't like that. So, of course, he moves the family like 1,700 miles away to Perth, Australia to make his wife happy. And so Tom, of course, after the move, he starts devoting his life like back to his family, as he should have. Martha, of course, out of nowhere, she pops up like less than a year later after abandoning her husband that she had at the time, apparently, and her children.
And
Of course, the affair starts up again, and Tom decides to leave his wife Sarah and takes like the younger kids with him.
bitch, I know you fucking lied.
Because apparently some of the kids were already grown up, from what I read. They even demanded that the children call her mom and that they won't be saying their real mom anymore. They soon were starting to get beaten and were suffering from malnutrition and were sick a lot because of it. The doctor, of course, recommended that the children take something for their illness, but instead Martha ended up giving them something called spirit salts, which apparently is like hydrochloric acid, which she would like swab on like their throats. And apparently there were times where in order to get them to take it, she would actually end up tying them down.
I am disgusted.
Hysteria would eventually be blamed as to like the cause of their sickness because it was common back in those times. One of the children, Annie, would actually die, and unfortunately Olive would end up becoming like severely ill like right after. And so of course hysteria was blamed as to why Olive was ill and why Annie had just passed away. Of course, they would say that the only way to get rid of it was to get at it from the source, which required taking some sort of medication. But of course, Martha just kept on giving them acid anyway. It's believed that she actually did this for sexual gratification.
I am disgusted.
Said to have been seen by like neighbors rocking back and forth in a chair while her stepchildren were screaming and literally dying. And apparently, other neighbors said that she was even seen at points like pleasuring herself. Olive died, sadly, and she turned Arthur, which of course Arthur would have died shortly after. And at this point, only George, who apparently was 14, was left, and so of course she turns on him. He ends up running away because at this point I think he's catching on that, you know, Martha's doing something to the kids.
Why are you running?
And he goes to search and find his biological mother. Surprisingly, he actually finds her and tells her, like, everything. And so, of course, she goes to police. And so it was later revealed that Thomas, his father, Martha's new husband, I guess, Thomas was the one who actually bought the acid, but he didn't know what it was going to be used for. And it said that they stopped buying the acid after Arthur died.
Coincidence? I think not!
Thomas eventually, of course, after they believed that he had no genuine involvement in the death of his children, he eventually gets acquitted. Martha is luckily charged, but she's only charged with the murder of Arthur, you know, the last child that died.
Really, nigga?
She received a death sentence and actually was executed on October 6th, 1909 by hanging, and apparently she's the last woman to be legally hanged in Western Australia. So yeah, that was the first Australian case, I guess, in Fatal Female Friday. And I will see you Fatal Females in the next case. Bye!
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, maybe you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed. Think you're something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me?
Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palms. Play with me like cats and a string. You don't understand the pain it brings. You don't ever wanna give me wings. You don't ever wanna set me free.